Howdy, folks. We're going to look at, hopefully this comes up. Yeah, here we go. No, there we go. Let me bring that up. We're going to be looking at the civil rights movement, and I want to make sure that you're very clear on what is different about this lecture versus the previous lecture in Reconstruction and what will come up in later lectures. Most lectures follow the same format, so once you get the format down, you're fine. Sorry, I really do find it important. I don't have a lecture for per se for the civil rights, but it's important, I think, for you to do your own mini little research project on it, and I emphasize mini, and as you'll see in just a second here. So let's go to the civil rights movement. Go ahead and click that. It probably looks a little bit different on your end. I don't have student view at this point right now. But anyway, nonetheless, what you're going to see probably in the menu here is a section for articles and a section for films. Let's work first with the section with articles. So one thing, really make sure that you take note of this. Let's read the sentence together. You must cite 5 sources of information. You must cite 5 sources of information, right? Specific laws, events, court cases, protests, historical individuals also, and their significance to the civil rights movement. From the following articles. Now note, you don't have to reference each article, right? So at the very least, you're going to have to cite 2 different articles. And so one article, it might be 2 references that you're citing, and the other article, it might be 3, right? And the reason why you need to cite at least 2 is very specific to this essay question, right? And so some of these articles pertain to African Americans' experience within the civil rights movement, and some pertain to the Mexican Americans' experience within the civil rights movement. So that's the first thing you want to ascertain. Some of it's pretty obvious, and some of it might not be. Like, or does it explode? That pertains to the African American experience. Mendez versus Westminster, these 2 articles right here, they're 2 different articles, just the same title. It pertains to the Mexican-American experience, right? And so at the very least, you want 2 different articles. The more the better. It's always better to provide more sources of information than fewer. But you don't have to do all of them, right? If you do, that's excellent, right? That would be fantastic if you actually did all of them. But it's not necessary. I won't mark you down if you don't do all of them, in other words, right? The other thing, the next section, again, your view looks different than mine at this point, is going to be films. So it's going to be in the menu, you click films, and what you're going to do is you're going to open this up, and the same thing applies with the films. It's only 5 references. You don't have to watch every single one of these films. If you do, excellent. Yay! I'll be very happy to hear that. But you definitely don't have to, and I have no expectation of you even watching nearly close to all of these films. I'm just giving you enough choices here so you can decide for yourself what interests you within the context of this discussion. So the one thing you want to note, though, that there's 3 different columns. The columns go like column downward, right? They're vertical. These 2 right here are dealing with the Mexican-American experience within the civil rights movement, and this is dealing with the African-American experience within the civil rights movement. And so that's pretty self-explanatory. You could watch a film from this column, you can watch a film from this column. You can watch more than one film, but you don't have to watch all of them. Shelby versus Holder, what this is dealing with is it's dealing with a recent court case in June of 2013 that made a significant change to the Civil Rights Act that was passed in the early 60s. And what it did is the following. Let me bring up this map here. Yeah, here we go. So, this map here. Basically, for most of the southern states, prior to Shelby versus Holder in 2013, if they made any changes at all, to their voting laws within the state legislature, they had to check in with the federal government, at the Justice Department, basically getting the Attorney General's okay to change any laws. So there were a lot of states wanting to change laws requiring people to have a voter ID, or there were a lot of states in the South and some other states as well that were implicated within the Civil Rights Act, that wanted to eliminate early voting, for example. They weren't able to do that because they couldn't get the go-ahead from the Justice Department to do so. But since Shelby versus Holder, they have been, and a lot of these states have acted to pass such laws, right? And you'll get a sense of that when you watch some of those films on this. And there's articles on that as well. Just keep that in mind. Keep that background in mind of exactly what's going on there. So I believe that's it. I don't want to take too much of your time here. So thanks for watching. But do let me know if you have any questions. Email me. Get me through the Selly app. That's probably the best way. Otherwise, go forth and be great. But yeah, do let me know if you have any questions, and I'll talk with you later. Bye.